Hello, welcome back to the channel on what is officially the first day of autumn. And well, that first day of autumn has given us something of a surprise. I only said last week we are not anywhere near having a frost. And then I've woken up this morning, it's frosty. And it's not just a little bit of frost either. It was white over first thing. You can see the frost here on the leaves of the courgette as well, obviously masked a little bit by some powdery mildew. And I can see frost on these beds with the green manure in as well. And even the polytunnel is glistening under a layer of frost. And I was concerned about my dahlias, but thankfully they are all still standing. But apparently it's going to be even colder tonight. And when I say it got cold last night, let's go and have a look at the temperature in the polytunnel, because it's certainly cold enough for my ears to be pretty cold right now. Right. Now, the thermometer is hiding here underneath the birdhouse gourds. Oh my, I don't know if you can see that. Minus 0.2. Wow. That is cold. It's cold for the end of September anyway. Nothing seems to be worse for wear because of it though. These sunflowers were already looking very tired and wilty before we had the frost. I don't think the ochre has suffered. I think it's just asleep still because it is quite early in the morning. Oh, this cosmos hasn't liked it though, has it? But thankfully everything else is still looking happy around the archway. I can see my breath this morning as well. Now I need to crack on and get my dog fields open for business. If you didn't catch me chatting about that on episode 3 of So Chatty, that is what my business is. I run secure dog fields on the farm. They open in an hour, so I need to go and get them sorted, ready for opening. And hopefully it'll have warmed up a bit when I come back to the plot. Because if it doesn't warm up, I'm going to have a dig around for a woolly hat and some gloves, because these hands are freezing. Now Duncan's already in the field with Dexter, who's probably going to come and say hello to me when I come through this gate. Hi buddy. What you got? They're mine. Mine. He says it's not yours, Mama. Fast forward to several days later, the sun is shining, but I was perhaps a little bit too optimistic about how things had coped with the frost the other day, because there are things that have definitely started to succumb. One of those is the pumpkins that you can see here behind me. They are not looking particularly happy right now. The foliage on them has definitely taken a little bit of a battering. I'm guessing this is like frost burn on the end of these leaves here. But if I just pan across here, that pumpkin there is absolutely enormous. There's my hand on it. Gonna be the biggest pumpkin for my granddaughter to carve this year. And thankfully you can see that it is starting to harden off there at the stem, so it shouldn't be long before it's properly ready to harvest. Definitely in time for Halloween anyway. And I've now established that the mystery pumpkin that I planted on the end here that hasn't really done anything anyway is actually an chicky curry. Obviously I'm not going to get an chicky curry out of that this year. Oh, even less so now. I've just broke it. Oops. It's a good job that wasn't the polar bear pumpkin. I'd have been really upset then, wouldn't I? If I come across here onto the lawn where I have this fruit tree guild here, you can see that the zinnias and the calendula, they're also not looking too good. I'm not disappointed though, because they gave us a really good show all through summer. I mean, there are still some trying to flower there, but we are right at the end of the season for those. If I walk through the other fruit trees here on the lawn, all of the calendula around those has died back now as well. I don't know whether that was due to the frost or not, but they're not looking their best. They need clearing out soon as well. But the fig tree, I don't know why I'm walking past it, the fig tree is still going strong. And I don't really know much about fig trees, but I'm assuming these little figlets, guessing some will drop off and some will go ahead to give us fruit next year. I'm so happy with how that's grown this time. Now the straw flowers are doing really well. I thought these would be one of the first things to be knocked back from the frost. And I'm really hoping that these ones get to dry enough to get me some seeds from them, because I've really enjoyed this really pale pink colour this year. Didn't have any quite this pale last year. So I really want to save some seeds from those. Now if I walk towards the archway where the pumpkins are, there's more casualties under here. And not just me from having to walk through the squashes. You can see those mashed potato squashes, they look really healthy last week, are actually looking worse for wear now this time. So the season is again coming to a close for those. Same with the butternut squashes, they're not looking so good. One of the biggest casualties is this, which is a birdhouse gourd, which has dropped off the vine. So I need to read up now on what you do with these. Will this continue to cure off the vine, or is it not going to make a birdhouse now this has happened? Such a shame, but it's quite nice to hold one properly in your hands. And these are a more reasonable size compared to the ones in the polytunnel. The ochre up here is looking absolutely wonderful. I mean, look at it, it looks glorious. The leaves are really happy and open. I haven't had any flowers on them this year, but if I just take you back through the archway, you can see that the ochre here is a different story. This looks like the frost has actually gotten to it. It's proper dying back, isn't it? And it's not got any real greenness to it anymore. Unlike those dwarf artichokes, remember the ones that I was told are non-invasive? They're spreading a fair bit in that bed now. So to everybody that I sent some of those dwarf artichokes to, promising you that they wouldn't grow invasive around your plots, I apologise, because they are definitely spreading. And I'll just duck under more casualties here. That's the first job I'm going to be doing today, is sorting out, getting rid of some of the foliage that's proper died back, just to clear it away. It's starting to look untidy. As much as you don't want things to be over, I hate seeing things half dead or pretty much dead on the plot as well, so I need to clean them out. Now what I do want to do though is save some of these flower heads. Now this is only a small flower head, but if you just pull all of the backing of the plant or the flower head from there, and I bring it a little bit closer to you, you can see that that is full of sunflower seeds. So I'm planning on making little hammocks for these so that they hang this way and the birds can come and land on them and help themselves over winter. Got plenty of trees that I can hang these in. This feels like a sure sign of summer being over. Getting rid of the sunflowers. Oh, that one's pulled straight out of the ground. The size of the stems on them. I couldn't get through these with normal secateurs. And me and Kerry were talking about these prune arbo shears on so chatty. And oh, honestly, when I was trying to do this before having them, nightmare. They make light work of it though. I am also going to be saving some of the seeds. So because this one has a few flower heads here that have a couple of petals on them still, which will help me identify it, what I'm going to do is put those in this bag and put one of the flower heads in there with it. So I'll know that that's that particular variety. Now, if I move along to here, looks like I might as well pull out the majority of this calendula. Now, I think I'll leave that little clump there because that's not looking too bad. But I am going to pull up this cosmos here because I'm pretty certain that that is way past its best. One thing I'm probably not going to bother doing though is saving seeds, because all of these here, these are calendula seeds. I know that these will germinate en masse in the path here next year. Just let them go in and I'll use the path here as a bit of a nursery bed for them. This pumpkin on the archway is, again, not looking its best, something else is suffering, but I'm going to leave it behind for now. I am just going to nip the end off because he's trying to put out a fresh pumpkin and there's no hope for that now. So might as well focus its energy on the one that it has got on there. As you can see, the stem is starting to dry now, and this variety here is called Buttercup. I really don't know why I'm putting any more sweet pea seeds in this bag, because I have plenty of sweet pea seeds. And yet here I am. I absolutely hate pulling things out. I love the planting in spring, but oh, it's such a chore to take everything down in autumn, isn't it? Plus it looks sad, seeing it all go. But then I'm trying to remind myself that in less than 6 months' time, next year's sweet peas will have already been sown and will be growing away, hopefully, in the greenhouses. Oh no! Oh, I've just pulled up a gladioli. I can't have been in the ground far. Oh look, you can see that it's naturalising and there's more little tubers coming from it. If you look here, I thought all of these were little bits of grass initially, but now I can see that these are actually baby gladioli. So it looks like next year I'll have even more gladioli. I'm quite excited about that. They do put on such a show. Now, something else that has really died back because of the frost is actually something I'm not upset about, because it's the patty pans here. Look at them. They looked fine on Monday. I am absolutely stunned at just how quick, or the lasting effects, should I say, of the frost on these. So, you know, I think I'm going to take them out. As I keep saying, we've had enough of them anyway. We've still got loads in the house to get through. So I'm going to take these down, harvest what's remaining on them, and say goodbye to patty pans for 2025. Now, this is a job that I'm actually going to be doing wearing some gloves, because as has been mentioned before, courgettes and the pumpkins and the mashed potato squashes all have quite spiky stems on them, and I don't want to get spiked by them. Oh, I thought that they'd pull out easier than that. That was hard work. And I think it's also time to give up with this structure that I put up to keep the pigeons off the early French beans, because they didn't do anything. In fact, the only thing that's been growing in here undisturbed is a ginormous dock. I mean, look at the size of that. That's a little bit embarrassing. Now, I'd forgotten just how many canes were making up this structure. Oh, gosh. And apparently, I put them in the ground rather well. Oh, they're coming out better now. It really does seem like it was just 5 minutes ago that all of these structures were being put in the garden. I don't think my head has caught up with the date yet, and we're into October next week. How did that happen? Oh, that didn't take long. Ooh. Careful, careful. Don't tip it off. Now if I move to this bed next door here, these were some climbing peas. I can't remember the variety actually. Does it say on this label here? Alderman. So these were another set of alderman peas. I thought that I'd put Rosa Crone in here. And actually, having looked inside them, the peas don't look too bad. They look properly dried. So I think I'm going to try and take some of these off and see how many of these I can keep for seed for next year, because that will be a huge saving. I'll go through them because I'm sure some of them are probably mouldy. And actually, a lot of these never got to their full potential. I'll show you what I mean if you look at this one here. I don't know whether these would actually make decent pea seeds because they didn't grow very big at all. This feels better. Yeah, they're bigger seeds there. So I'm hoping that I can use these very dried seeds next year. This is quite an unexpected seed harvest. I thought these had done absolutely nothing at all. As much as we hate to admit the end of the season is coming, it's quite nice to walk under some clean and tidy archways without things falling in your face all of the time. The vegetable garden is certainly looking quite a bit different just for a couple of hours tidying away in here. Now don't feel too sad for me that the patty pans have gone over in the frost, because I think I have quite a few to be getting on with. Now I've just harvested those last ones. I'm not going to be running short, am I? And to add insult to injury, I also had 3 courgettes. And I also found a pair of glasses that clearly I lost at some point over summer in the courgette plant. The things you do on the garden. Now, one thing I'm not going to stress about is how big these French beans have gotten. They're too big to eat as fresh French beans now. I mean, as you can see, they're all sort of like fat and bumpy. The beans are getting quite established within that pod. So you wouldn't eat that on your Sunday dinner anymore like that. It would be very tough. But when I was watching Kerry's video on... When was I watching Kerry's video? It's Friday today, so it was yesterday. Kerry's actually leaving these to dry for drying beans. And I didn't realise, because that's how new I am to gardening. I had no idea that French beans were also beans that you could eat as dried beans. I did a quick Google and apparently yes, they go well in stews. So now I've decided that this crop is more drying beans for me, for the stews and soups and things that I will definitely be making over winter. I can't tell you how happy it makes me to know that this isn't a wasted crop now. And I'm really pleased that So Chatty is sharing that kind of information and teaching even me and Kerry whilst we're hosting it. And next week's episode of So Chatty is all about gardening partners, or not, as the case may be. So join us there. Right, what's next? Oh, something really exciting actually. You might remember earlier in the year, way back in March, I sowed some seeds. Well, I sowed a lot of seeds back in March. That didn't give a lot away, was it? That was a very profound statement, Claire. I sowed some potato seeds. These potatoes were called Clancy, and they were sent to me all the way from America, from Robin at Robin's Gardens. And I'd never grown potatoes in this way from an actual seed before. Usually plant a seed potato, that's what we're all familiar with. And I only had 2 germinated, and I did plant them, and now it's time to harvest them. As you can see, they're stuck here down the sides of the greenhouse. And I think this one died back more, so I'm going to be taking that one in. Ooh, that's heavy. Ooh. Now, for some reason, I haven't written the date on this tub, so I don't know when it was that I planted them. Maybe the other one has a label in it. I'll have a look in a second. Right. Oh, it's very wet. Oh, there's the label. 22nd of No, 26th of March they were sown. There's a lot of roots here. Let's turn it this way up. Oh, there you go. There's 1, 2. Oh, that one looks a little bit green, so I won't be eating that one. Oh, another one. I can't believe these were grown from actual seeds and not a seed potato. I wonder if I could use these little ones as a seed potato though next year. Oh, this looks better. There's a lot of roots in these. Look how much root there is. Far more root. Different type of root structure than with potatoes I normally grow. Is that what happens when they grow from seed? Now I feel like at this point we might as well harvest the other tub as well and see what's in here. Oh, I can immediately see a few potatoes. I'm quite pleased with that. Now I think I remember people saying that you wouldn't get big potatoes from them. They are more of a little salad potato. But to be honest, I'm just thrilled to get any potatoes because I never knew that you could grow them like this from seed. This bucket's definitely better. One of them was a stronger plant than the other one, so I'm going to guess that this is the plant that was stronger. Well, I hope it was, because that makes more sense. But again, there's a lot of very dense roots in here as well. And you can hear the robot mower in the background as well. We're going to be in his way in a minute. I'm really quite pleased with them. So that's all that I got from the first plant, which I've said I think was the weaker plant of the two. But then these ones, which have a much redder skin on them, they do look a lot happier. Obviously they're very wet though. All of these are out of this second bucket, and some of them are absolutely tiny. So if they'd have gotten bigger, it would have been absolutely amazing. But even so, I think that's a pretty good return. So thank you very much for sending me the seeds, Robin. I'm going to look forward to taste testing them and putting some up to be seed potatoes for next year. Anyway, I don't have any more time outside today. I need to go in and do some caring duties. So that's it for this week. Look after yourselves and I'll catch you next time. Bye.